Hello friends, let's do another makeup look. We're gonna go from this to this. You ready? Let's get into it. I'm starting out with a couple drops of Beautycounter's Brightening Oil to prep my skin. Then I'm gonna be using 3 different products for my complexion base: Skin Twin Foundation, Dew Skin Tinted Moisturizer, and a little bit of Say Beauty's Liquid Highlight. I love mixing these 3 together. They give a really skin-like finish with coverage and also that lit from within kind of radiance. Next, I'm going in with concealer with 3 different shades. The first matches my skin tone for coverage, the second brightens where I want it, and the third is actually a deeper shade for dimension and warmth. I'm bringing in a little bit of my setting mist here so that my deeper shade of concealer will blend out seamlessly. If this had been more of a true contour, a gray-brown that's going to really mimic shadows, I would have been keeping my brush much more tight to where I had actually placed the product. I am blending this out pretty broadly because this is more of a warm brown that's almost acting like a cream bronzer. Next, we're going to move into brows, and I like to first brush through my brows with a clean spoolie. Then I'm going to take Beautycounter's Brow Gel in medium. And with any brow gel, I really love to back brush over the hairs to really deposit the product down. Once you've deposited the product, you can then use your brush to really create the shape of your brow and lay them down where you want them to stay. Once your brow shape is there, don't be afraid to bring your fingers into the mix to clean up any edges that have gone a little bit awry. And then finally, I always like to take a pencil. This is from Lawless. It's their brow pencil in oak, and I like to extend the tail of my brows. If you want to see longevity from your eyeshadow, you should think about trying an eyelid primer. Typically, I'm just going to take my concealer and then set it with my setting powder. But here I'm giving this eyelid primer from Milk Makeup a try. With a product like this, you want to make sure that it's completely dried down before you go in with a powder eyeshadow. Here I'm taking the new holiday palette from Beautycounter, the Essentials palette, and I'm taking Pashmina and just doing a really quick wash all over the lid with my finger. Next, I'm going in with a domed flat brush so it has a nice edge to it as well. And I'm picking up Silhouette from that same palette and just very loosely placing it from the outer corner down into the center of my lash line. Then I'm coming in with a clean domed pencil brush, and I'm just using this to blend out the edges of the deeper shade from Silhouette, trying to keep the shape that I had initially laid down, that it has a bit of a wing. I chose this size brush and the density of this on purpose because if it was too fluffy or too big, it would blow out the gray color that I laid down. So believe me when I say blending takes some time. Give yourself the patience to do it, and I'm going to speed you up here so you don't have to watch me in real time for the whole thing. Okay, so now I'm coming in with our Lid Glow shadow from one of our holiday sets in Solar, and this is essentially like an easy button. It's really helping me to mesh both the Pashmina light color that I placed on first to the Silhouette gray color that I did with the wing and marry the two together. This is also a really pretty shade to pop in the inner corner to put on the brow bone. It's a golden beige kind of highlight tone. If you're here getting makeup tips from me, you know that I always say curl those lashes. Then we're putting on Think Big mascara from Beautycounter, and man, let me tell you, this is a clean mascara, the cleanest you can find, and one of the best ones you can find. Now I'm going in with Make Beauty's bronzer just to get some powder bronzer into the mix. It's going to add a little bit of dimension. It's going to work with the deeper shade of concealer that I used for some warmth earlier in the look. Whenever you're doing bronzer, make sure that you are going to hit into your hairline, up to your ears, around your temple, down your jawline, down your neck, and into your chest so that everything looks seamless. Now let's get into my favorite part of any look, the blush. I'm taking Nectar Cream Blush from one of our holiday sets, and I'm going to mix it with a little bit of Ilia's Liquid Highlight. I'm doing this to create a bit of a base before I go in with a little bit more of the Nectar pigment on top. Whenever you see those glass-like skin looks that you're so drawn to, know that the highlights and the luminosity was built in layers. Now I'm going in with more of the Nectar Cream Blush to really just amp up the color payoff. Now I'm doing a step that I think is a must-have. I'm setting my under eye and also setting any other areas of my face where I want the makeup to last all day. I want to cut back any of the highlight that might be appearing from the complexion products that I used. And I am doing that mainly in my T-zone, along my jawline, and then of course, like I said, under the under eye. Make sure too, you'll see me here pat underneath my eye first. You want to get any of the concealer that might have fallen into your fine lines and wrinkles to be blended out before you set it. I'm coming in with one more round of setting spray, and now let's move to lips. This beauty is a limited edition from one of our holiday sets. The shade is called Cherry. And what I was showing there is that I really like when it's a brand new bullet, how you can use the edge as almost like a lip liner. I think it's really important with bolder shades, especially reds. And you can just, however you typically line your lip, whether it's right on the natural line or if you do go a little bit over the edge, just be careful because this formula is not a lip liner formula with a lot of wax in it, but it can still give you a starting point of how to come in now straight from the bullet and not get too messy on the edges. How pretty is this shade? Oh my goodness. Okay, now I'm coming in with the other part of this holiday set, and it is our Beyond Gloss in Quartz Shimmer, and I'm just tapping it over. I'm using two different fingers here so that I'm not getting the wand of the gloss, any red pigment on it, and I'm tapping it mainly in the center of both my bottom and top lip, and it really just brings the center of your lips forward and makes them look a little bit fuller. And then as a last step, instead of having to go to get another highlight, I'm taking right from my lip where the red pigment has mixed with that Quartz Shimmer gloss, and it just gives like a high gloss kind of sheen moment on the cheekbone. It looks really pretty. And that's the full look, guys. I think this is a really great one for holiday glam. I'm also wearing this to the school pickup line right now, so it's really versatile. I'm going to put all of the products in a Shop My Shelf link below, and let me know if you have any questions.